I love you too. Okay.
Tampa the short sentence appeared on the main LED screen in the center of the grandiose stage spotlight. I swear that I will always sing for Tampa. Suddenly, the stadium fell silent. No music, no background noise. Only the sounds of sobs were slowly heard from the stands. The promise left by BTS's Jin wasn't just a closing line from a concert. It was an emotional declaration from an artist who felt an unusual attachment to the city that witnessed his temporary breakup with fans. The question was simple but jarring. Why did that sentence, which seemed simple, elicit such a huge emotional reaction among the thousands of soldiers present that night? What is the Jin saying behind these words? BTS's Jin's appointment comes not at an ordinary moment, but at the end of his last concert in Tampa, a city that previously might not have had a special emotional bond with BTS. But that night, Tampa turned into an emotional turning point in Jin's career as a solo artist, as a member of BTS, and as an individual shouldering the burden of global expectations post his military service. The stage is arranged magnificently, but the atmosphere feels intimate. BTS's Jin performed with full energy, singing songs known as her deepest expressions. But it wasn't the song or the stage lighting that stuck in the audience's memory. It was that one written message that made the whole space feel like it stopped beating for a moment. The phrase, "I swear that I will always sing for Tampa," is not only a tribute to the city that welcomed him, but a vow that carries a deeper meaning, that Tampa has occupied its own space in Jin's heart, and he chose to tie himself emotionally to that place. In a South Korean entertainment world that often seems measured and structured, personal expressions like this are rarely conveyed directly. The ARMY's response was inevitable. Many could not hide their tears. On social media, the video of the moment immediately went viral, with thousands of comments from fans who felt as if Jin was speaking directly to them. Some even said that this was the first time they had seen a genie speak so openly and personally to a particular city. An emotion that arises not only because the message is beautiful, but because ARMY feels humanly appreciated, not just as a spectator, but as part of the story of Jin's journey itself. Furthermore, the sentence gave rise to wider speculation. Will BTS's Jin return to Tampa as a solo artist? Does the promise indicate deep involvement in future music projects? Or was it just a spontaneous moment full of emotion that emerged from the depths of Jin's gratitude towards his fans? HYB did not release an official statement on the meaning behind the sentence. But what is clear, the promise has now become a symbol, an icon of farewell that is not bitter, but warm and hopeful. The phrase is now printed on various banners and fan-made merchandise and is used as a quote in various tribute uploads for Jin on global platforms. Tampa, in this context, isn't just a concert venue. It's become a symbol of the rare emotional connectedness between idols and fans. Not only in Tampa, the reaction of the ARMY around the world was similar. Many stated that Jin's statement felt like a depiction of BTS and its fans' entire relationship, supporting each other, appreciating each other, and always connecting through music. In an increasingly fast-paced and competitive entertainment world, such a promise harks back to the root of why BTS can be as big as they are today: sincerity. But behind that sweet promise lies a bittersweet reality. The concert in Tampa marks the end of Jin's string of performances before returning to running the internal agenda, including preparations for group and solo activities. This farewell signal felt even more real when Jin ended the concert without saying much, just waving his hands while staring longingly at the stands. As if to capture the faces that had been with him that night, the public began to wonder, is this a sign that BTS's Jin is preparing a new chapter in his career? Is the promise to always sing in Tampa a metaphor for a broader dedication to fans around the world? Or is this a temporary form of release, hinting that the genie is preparing for something greater in the future. To be sure, BTS's Jin again proves that he is not just a popular artist. He is an emotional communicator who is able to establish cross-cultural and linguistic connections with just one sentence. His promise not only touched ARMY's heart, it also became a reflection of how the relationship between musicians and fans can survive. Even when the stage has gone out and the lights have been turned off, the concert was over. But the sentence remained behind. I swear to God, I will always sing. A promise that is not only heard but also felt. For those of you who watched, heard, or even cried while reading that sentence, we want to know, do you feel the Jin are really conveying a message from his heart? Or is it part of a perfectly designed stage narrative? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on other in-depth and exclusive discussions about BTS's Jin and important moments in the global K-pop world. However, behind the rising emotions, one big question cannot be avoided. Is this event really real, or is it just part of a narrative deliberately built to stir up the emotions of the public and strengthen the emotional attachment between idols and fans? BTS's seemingly spontaneous lineup, I swear that I will always sing for Tampa, was so perfect in context that it was dramatic, timely, and visually projected on a giant LED screen. Doesn't this raise critical questions? To what extent is the message a sincere expression? And to what extent is it designed by the highly structured system of the entertainment industry? In a world now dominated by viral content, it is undeniable that the entertainment industry, including K-pop, has transformed into an arena of mass emotion production. Touching messages, heartwarming farewells, to sweet promises immortalized on screen, are often tools to maintain fan loyalty, increase digital interaction, and ultimately encourage repeated consumption of content. So the question arises, was the promise of the genie born from a space of honesty, or was it precisely part of a communication strategy carefully shaped by the management and creative team backstage? It should also be noted that information about the moment was first widely spread on various social media platforms such as TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Short videos, screenshots, and audio snippets spread quickly, creating a narrative that seems to have been thoroughly verified. However, can everything that is viral be considered accurate? Most of the uploads come from the global fanbase, not from official media or direct statements from HYB. Does this mean that we accept the truth only because the majority of the public perceives it as an emotional moment? In this context, the public needs to return to the basic principles of journalism and information analysis, verification, skepticism, and consideration of context. Aren't we moved too quickly by emotions, without first questioning the source, purpose, and importance that may be hidden behind them? If it is true that the Jin conveyed the message sincerely, then of course this should be appreciated. But if it turns out that the message is the result of narrative engineering, then we need to reevaluate the way we receive and interpret content from public figures. There is one thing worth highlighting in these events: the collective reaction of the ARMY. Crying, screaming, and emotional uploads are very deep forms of involvement. But is this kind of emotional involvement purely born of bonding with Jin as a person? Or is it precisely the product of a media communication architecture that knows exactly how to manage mass empathy? Are we crying because of the Jin, or because of the narrative created about the Jin? Criticism like this is not to belittle the emotional experiences of fans, but rather to encourage reflective thinking. How aware are we of the role of the media in shaping our emotions towards idols? Do we really understand Jin as real human beings with their complexity, or simply as idealized images that have been constructed over the years through music, visuals, and dramatic moments like these? It's important to remember that the K-pop industry, including HYB, is a highly organized ecosystem, and it's not uncommon to leverage personal moments as a highly effective marketing strategy. Does Jin's promise to always sing for Tampa not open up space for the exploitation of fans' emotions in order to promote upcoming tour plans, album launches, or even the formation of a solo artist's identity? We need to remember that most of the information we consume comes from unofficial media. Videos from TikTok, snippets of comments on Twitter, compilations of moments from YouTube, they are all representations, not whole realities. Therefore, we invite readers and viewers not to immediately believe every emotional narrative that is spread, especially if it is not accompanied by verification from credible parties. Wouldn't it be wiser to view these events as potential truths that are still open to be proven? Finally, let us return this question to you, the readers and the audience. Do you really believe that the genie delivered the promise from the bottom of his heart? Or do you feel that the moment is too perfect to be called spontaneous? Is it possible that we are becoming part of a larger narrative engineering, a simulation of emotions curated to preserve the bond between artist and audience? We do not offer a final answer because reality in the entertainment world is never completely black or white. But what we encourage is the courage to ask, the courage to doubt, and the courage to look behind the stage lights. Stay critical. Do not easily get caught up in emotions that are packaged in such a way. Verify every piece of information, and don't let tears cloud the logic. Events like this can be a mirror to all of us about how we love, believe, and interpret an idol. And for those of you who are still loyal to Jin BTS's development, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss exclusive discussions, in-depth investigations, and sharp analysis around the BTS phenomenon and the global K-pop world. Because every moment is worth questioning and every question can lead us to a clearer understanding.